are the B's that are being dramatic about Caitlin Clark. That's all I see. They try so long to get respect for women's basketball, and then they treat it like a junior high school girl's locker room. A junior high school girl antics on the court. Instead of playing the game, they gotta be drama. Because they're jealous. Instead of letting their skills speak for themselves, they gotta be drama. Because
Clark is on fire, and it's just another day at the office for her. But as her star continues to rise, not everyone is cheering. A'ja Wilson, another WNBA star, seems to be feeling the pressure, and it's clear there's some jealousy in the air. We're going to dive into what's happening and why it's all making waves in the world of women's basketball. First, let's talk about Caitlin Clark's latest win, and this one isn't even on the court. Forbes just included her in their prestigious 30 under 30 list, which is a huge honor. It's their way of saying, this person is going places. And guess what? Clark is the only WNBA player to make the list this year. This is a big deal because the list usually highlights big names with years of experience in the game. But Clark? She's shaking up the whole sports world, showing everyone what it means to be a young athlete in today's age. Now let's break down why Forbes couldn't ignore her. Clark's freshman year wasn't just good, it was groundbreaking. She broke 62 records. Yes, you read that right, 62. Each time she looked at the record books, she thought, I can do better. And she did. But here's where it gets even more impressive. Clark didn't just perform on the court, she also brought in fans by the thousands. Her games saw viewership that was 4 times higher than the average for women's basketball. That's huge, not just for her, but for the entire WNBA. Dr. Ryan Brewer, a sports economics expert, sums it up perfectly. The numbers are so big, they almost don't seem real. Thanks to Caitlin Clark, women's basketball saw a 4-fold increase in TV viewership this year compared to last. And that's not all. Clark's total earnings this year hit $1.1 million, the highest in the WNBA. Nearly all of that, around 95%, came from endorsements. Her Nike deal alone is worth $28 million over 8 years. That's 46 times what she makes from her WNBA salary. Let that sink in. So, what does all this mean for women's sports? It's simple. Caitlin Clark isn't just playing the game. She's changing it. She's proving that women's sports can be big business. Fans are willing to show up, tune in, and pay for great athletes and exciting gameplay, not the drama. Her inclusion on Forbes' list isn't just a win for her. It's a clear message to the sports world, to sponsors, and to networks. Women's basketball is here to stay, and it's thrilling to watch when played right. And Caitlin Clark? She's leading the charge, one record-breaking game at a time.
How you approach every single person is going to be completely different. And I think the thing that's helped me be successful throughout my career has been the relationships that I've been able to build with people. And every single person you have to approach differently because they come from a different background, they come from a different place. Somebody can be a little more tender-hearted, and for me, I probably want to be screamed at. Like, it's just everybody's a little bit different. So I think that's what's unique about leadership and being able to understand people, but that takes time and building relationships.
Instead of letting their skills do the talking, some players are turning to drama, and it's clear that jealousy is at play. You'd think Caitlin Clark's success would have the entire WNBA cheering her on, but behind the scenes, things aren't quite as friendly. So, what's really going on in those locker rooms, and why does A'ja Wilson's name keep coming up? When Clark first entered the WNBA, fans were buzzing with excitement to see if her college success would carry over to the pro level. But as Clark's star kept rising, not everyone in the league was thrilled. Some of the league's veteran players started to feel the heat, and Wilson has been making headlines of her own. The tension isn't just about basketball anymore, it's about endorsements, media attention, salaries, and even speaking fees. That's where things started to get interesting. Remember when news broke about Clark's virtual speaking fee? Well, not long after, Wilson's team leaked her own numbers. Reports came out saying Wilson charges $110,000 for virtual appearances, $10,000 more than Clark's fee. Was it just a coincidence? Fans didn't think so, and social media quickly lit up with reactions, calling it a move to stay relevant. One fan even tweeted, "A'ja honey, we see right through you."
ouch.
But here's the real story. It's not just about money. Some veteran players are worried that Clark is taking more than just the spotlight. She's shifting the entire business of women's basketball. How is Clark handling all of this drama? Like a pro, of course. While Wilson is caught up in the numbers game, Clark is keeping her focus on what really matters, her game and her team. She's not letting petty drama get to her, and fans are respecting her for it. In fact, her calm and collected response is only making her more popular. Clark's proving she's not just an amazing player, but also a fantastic teammate, and that's something no leaked contract details can overshadow. At the end of the day, Caitlin Clark isn't just changing how the game is played. She's reshaping the entire business of women's basketball.
Caitlin Clark, rising tide lifts all boats. As much as her presence was maximized by the WNBA, you players could have done more to assist it.
Some experts are even drawing parallels to how star players in the NBA and NFL have changed their leagues. These athletes use their marketability to negotiate better contracts and endorsements. Now, it looks like Clark might be doing the same for the WNBA. But it's not just about money. Clark's bringing eyes to the sport, getting people excited about women's basketball in a way we haven't seen before. Here's something to think about. Other women's sports have had moments like this before, moments that changed everything. The WNBA is at that point right now. They can embrace this change, ride the wave Clark's creating, or they can resist it and risk falling behind.
You didn't want to, rather. You were a bit hesitant and reluctant and resistant to it. So much so you didn't push for her to be on Team USA. So much so you had people like Cheryl Swoops who didn't even want to mention.
WNBA is at a crossroads, and Caitlin Clark is holding the map. As she paves the way for the league's future, some veteran players are digging in their heels. Is the WNBA ready for the change Clark represents, or will the growing pains slow down its progress? Let's dive into the generational shift happening right now. Caitlin Clark isn't just another player, she's a new kind of athlete. She brings fresh energy, a unique playing style, and, let's be honest, a huge fan following that's hard to ignore. And that's making veteran players sit up and take notice. But here's the twist. While fans are loving Clark, some of the league's seasoned players are feeling the pressure. It's not just about jealousy. It's about a changing of the guard that's happening faster than anyone expected. These veterans have spent years working hard, pushing for recognition, better pay, and more media attention. Then suddenly, here comes a rookie who, in her first season, is getting all that and more. It's no surprise that some players are struggling to adjust to this new reality. So, what does all this mean for the future of the WNBA? Experts believe that the next round of CBA, collective bargaining agreement, negotiations could lead to major changes in how players are paid.
Why?
Because Caitlin Clark is showing just how much a single player can impact the league's financial landscape. League officials are starting to realize that the old ways of doing business won't work anymore. Talks are underway about overhauling the league's financial structures, all thanks to the so-called Clark effect.
Damn sure elevated franchise value. But now, something that y'all resisted talking about, opining about.